The Real Madrid stumbled before the big derby, and that caught a lot of people off guard. But, as Cholo Simeone would say, this has been happening for 100 years, so why the surprise? The truth is that Madrid's media is in flames, trying to find someone to blame for the disaster. And look at the front page of the Madrid press, the biggest mistake in years. Now, tell me, can they really be this shameless? It's almost as if the team never makes mistakes, never gets any help. But when it's against them, the story changes. But before we go on, make sure to subscribe to the channel to help us grow, because I noticed that 80% of the people watching our videos aren't subscribed. So please, leave a like and subscribe to help us reach 5,000 subscribers. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. First, let's aim for 1,000 likes on this video. Now that you've subscribed, let's get into the news. But wait, wasn't it Florentino Perez himself who said that Marca and Spanish TV were under their control? Didn't they control the narrative? Now, all of a sudden, they want to play the victims? The truth is that when it suits them, they act all innocent and shift the blame onto others. But you can't hide the truth. The same president who calls to pressure the head of the federation now wants to sell the narrative that Madrid is the most mistreated team in Spain. Doesn't add up. And here's the interesting part. The referee who officiated the Real Madrid slip-up has already been demoted. That's right, he and the VAR from the game were sent to the freezer. But do you remember what happened to Hernandez, the ref who helped Madrid against Celta? He was rewarded with a Champions League match. The weight of the shirt makes a difference, hey? When the error favors them, the referee gets gifts. When it goes against them, they are suspended. Consistency is nowhere to be found. The Madrid media cave, led by figures like Pedro and Roncero, keeps shouting that Barcelona is being favored, that Madrid is the victim, and that the referees always make mistakes against them. But if Barcelona is all smoke, as they used to say, how come they're only 4 points behind Madrid? Wasn't Barcelona supposed to be a destroyed team? If they were really that bad, they would have already fallen behind. The truth is that the press manipulates the narrative to favor whoever pays them better. Speaking of controversy, remember when Madrid won against Almeria with a blatant penalty? Marca called it an epic comeback, but when Barcelona turns around a game, it's a robbery. Funny, right? It seems like referees only make mistakes when it's in favor of Barcelona. But when it's in favor of Madrid, it's just part of football. This whole game of interests is a disgrace. But don't worry, we're here to expose this hypocrisy. And I'm not the only one saying this. The international press has already caught on to how the narrative game works. ESPN has made absurd comments against Barcelona, and Movistar, don't even get me started. It's like they have a script. Any mistake in favor of Madrid is ignored, but any tiny thing against them becomes headline news. If you have any clips of these absurd comments, send them to me on Twitter or Instagram. Let's expose this biased media. And amidst all this chaos, we're heading into a decisive week for the Spanish Football Federation. President Rubiales could still be ousted, and the connections between the refereeing board and Real Madrid are becoming more and more obvious. Why isn't anyone talking about this? Yolanda Parga, the wife of Madrid's refereeing advisor, is responsible for evaluating referees. Coincidence? Or is it just another blatant case of favoritism? We all know the answer, but the Spanish press pretends not to. The desperation among Madrid fans is huge. Tomás Roncero, for example, was more concerned about Barcelona's standing than Madrid's own. And José Luis Sanchez, the biggest crybaby in the cave, was lamenting, "It's been really hard to come here today." What's really hard to believe is this hypocrisy. They're constantly saying that Barcelona is a dead team with no strength left, but they tremble whenever they see the team climbing the table. When Fede Valverde commits a criminal foul in the Super Cup, they call it Madridista DNA. But if a Barcelona player commits a normal foul, it's butcher-like. The hypocrisy knows no bounds. The cave keeps screaming about Romero, but never mentioned anything about Valverde. And more, Valverde has never been shown a red card in La Liga. Coincidence? We all know that when a Madrid player messes up, the press pretends nothing happened. If it were the other way around, they'd be talking about danger to football and crossing the line. But as always, double standards. In the meantime, Barcelona is showing a new fire. Hans-Dieter Flick has brought hunger and aggression back to the team. Just look at Frenkie de Jong, who had been invisible for a while, now playing with so much intensity. That's the right mentality. If Barcelona doesn't come out with aggression, they'll get robbed right in front of their eyes. The past seasons were a lesson, and now the team knows they must impose themselves physically. Players like Araujo and Gavi truly understand that, and their commitment on the pitch makes all the difference. Football isn't just about technique, it's about attitude. The truth is, the world has seen how Real Madrid's system works. After the Negreira scandal, it's clear how narratives are shaped. Madrid has been exposed. While they used to speak of Señorío, now everyone knows it's just whining. They cry because they lose. They cry because Barcelona is still in the race. They cry because their narrative is falling apart. They used to hide behind history, but now there are no more excuses. The VAR audios, the biased calls, the repeated mistakes, the mask has completely fallen. And it doesn't stop there. How many times has Madrid been helped in crucial games? How many titles have come through controversial moments? They point fingers at Barcelona but conveniently forget their own past. Finals with disallowed goals, non-existent penalties, ignored offside calls. The history is clear. Madrid has always had refereeing support. But when Barcelona wins by playing good football, suddenly there's a media conspiracy to tarnish the victory. It's desperation from those who know they can no longer hide the truth. The current moment is different. Barcelona is rebuilding and showing they can compete at the highest level. With young talent and a new mindset, the team is well positioned to silence the critics. Lewandowski remains a key figure, Yamal and Bald are the future, and the midfield is becoming more balanced. Cula fans can dream because the work is being done right. The mistakes of the past have served as lessons, and now the team knows they can't rely on favors. The only way forward is to fight until the end. Speaking of fighting, take a look at what's happening in La Liga. Every Madrid match has a controversial call in their favor. Every game has a suspicious moment. It seems like no one notices, but the truth is in plain sight for everyone. Meanwhile, any mistake by Barcelona becomes a scandal. The media goes wild, and debates last for weeks. The criteria is never the same. If Madrid wins with help, it's mysticism. If Barcelona wins, it's a setup. Hypocrisy has never been more obvious. The real question is, how much longer will this go on? How long will they pretend nothing is happening? The fans aren't fools. With every season, more and more people realize how the backstage game is played. It's such a well-constructed scheme that it feels like a movie. But just like any movie, the truth will eventually come out. And when that happens, there will be people who won't be able to hide anymore. The future is coming, and Barcelona is ready to challenge this system. So, what do you think about all this hypocrisy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's debate and spread the truth about what's really happening in Spanish football. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot in spreading the word and bringing more fans of real football into this community. Every subscriber, every like, and every share makes a huge difference in this battle against misinformation. Thanks a lot, and see you in the next video. Let's keep pushing forward, always showing the reality and defending fair football. Because, in the end, all we want is for the best team to win on the pitch, without manipulation and without tricks. Let's go!